Keep it going for Jamie Brickhouse. Here comes Jamie Brickhouse.
So I need to call Daddy Pooh, my 81-year-old father down in Texas, and I'm scared. Now, I've made a habit of calling him every morning ever since my mother, Mama Jean, died a few years earlier. But this won't be my usual banal check-in call where he tells me about the celebrities that were on Regis and Kelly that morning, and I tell him about that the memoir I've been writing about my alcoholism is coming along. You see, I've had a crash course in blackmail from my older brother, and I need to get to Daddy Pooh before my angry brother does. Now, like a lot of men his age, Daddy Pooh is uncomfortable talking about the uncomfortable. And Mama Jean's not around to have these come to Jesus talks anymore. She never had a thought she didn't speak. So it was always she who threw everything on the table, whether you're ready for it or not. Example, when I came out to them my freshman year in college, it was 1986 and the AIDS crisis was in full bloom. Here's how Daddy Pooh handled it. He took me to our first father, gay son lunch. And he said, "Now your mother and I love you no matter what you are." Then he took a sip of his Chardonnay and stared across the restaurant, not looking at me, and said, "Just be careful. And don't march in any of those parades." Now, Mama Jean, on the other hand, when I told her not only I was gay, but that I was seeing a dancer, she stared me down in her red velour zip-up robe and gold slippers and demanded, "What dancer?" "Well, he used to dance with the New York City Ballet," I smirked. "New York? Have you heard of AIDS? Have you heard of safe sex? There are only two kinds of sex, oral and anal." She forgot vaginal, but that was her problem. And Mama Jean never let up. Years later, almost out of the blue, she asked, "Have you been barebacking lately?" I was speechless. "You don't know what barebacking is?" Yeah, I know. Unsafe sex, sex without a condom, but how do you know?" "I learned it on Oprah." So apparently she saw this episode where this gay guy was on there talking about his alcohol and drug addiction and how he started having unsafe sex and became HIV positive. Daddy Pooh just sat there shaking his head and rolling his eyes. But back to making that call to Daddy Pooh. See, my brother is really angry at me because I have refused to let him and his very large dog move in with me and my partner and our small cat in our New York apartment. That's just too cozy for comfort. So he's retaliated by leaving me a message threatening to tell Daddy Pooh my dirty little secret, which is that, like that guy on Oprah, during my drug and alcohol addiction, I became HIV positive. I never told Mama Jean or Daddy Pooh. And after I heard that message, I stood in the middle of my living room, almost paralyzed with fear. And after a few minutes, my fear morphed into anger. And I said out loud, melodramatically like a soap opera diva, "I will not be blackmailed. I will not be made to feel ashamed." It was my nobody puts baby in the corner moment. So I took a deep breath and I called Daddy Pooh. "Is this Jamie Pooh? What's happening? How's that book coming?" "Oh, it's coming." "Well, hurry up and finish. I want it to come out before I die." "I see on Regis and Kelly y'all are having some bad weather up there." I cut off the small talk and I asked if he'd heard from my brother. He hadn't. Then I opened my mouth and an avalanche of words fell out. "Listen, I need to tell you something before my dear brother does, and you should know anyway because I may be writing about it in my memoir, and I'll just blurt it out. I'm HIV positive. I have been for 10 years. I never told you and Mama Jean because I didn't want y'all to worry. Then I gave him a course 101 in HIV. And you don't have to worry. I've never been sick. I take 1 pill a day. I've never had any side effects. You know, these days it's a manageable illness, a chronic condition like diabetes. But it's better than diabetes. I mean, diabetes is a pain in the ass. Dead silence on the other end of the line, and then, but you're okay, right? You're going to be okay. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I mean, I'll die someday, but it won't be from this. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. They've got some good medication these days, that it's not the big deal that it used to be. No, it's not anymore. And then he started to tell me about the celebrities who were on Regis and Kelly that morning. Done. That was 4 years ago, and we pretty much didn't talk about it after that, except once he mentioned that he was going to the annual Paint the Town Red Gala fundraiser. His unsaid words spoke louder. The fundraiser was for the local AIDS organization in his town. And about that book that he was so anxious for me to hurry up and finish, he read the manuscript, which did have my HIV revelation in it, but he died before the book came out. Ironically, unlike Mama Jean, he died knowing everything about me. Before I told Daddy Pooh, I was in the closet about my HIV status. Once I told him, it liberated me. Now, I don't give a damn who knows. I'm blackmail proof. Thank you.